do you have a story of how something during your career and business as you've been, especially moving into Web3, because I'm sure you didn't start in Web3, obviously, or blockchain, but do you have a story that you might like to share about maybe a little bit of a struggle or what it's been like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the biggest struggle happened when I dived myself into this space, knowing nothing.
Oh,
That was back a couple years back. So I got this opportunity. So a really good friend of mine, he has been in this blockchain area for more than a decade. So he is one of the very early evangelists of Bitcoin, and he knows me so well. But I didn't get into the space until, a couple years back because to me, I feel like I'm more into the product side, application side of the blockchain, that how, many applications come out when the Ethereum really, take this the market, and then that's when I feel like I want to be in part of this whole revolution, the new era. And but I don't have any tech background, so I just throw myself into this area. I went to some of the big conference, and then I just went through, booths by booths, and then asked them, hey, what were you guys doing? And then there were a couple scenario, the couple situation I wanted to talk more to, people, there, but they probably consider me still an outsider. Probably no
why is that?
value added to them. So they kindly asked me out of the room and then kind of continue there and ignore me. And that was a really tough time for me. I feel like, yeah, the barrier is real, right? It's not something that you can just throw yourself into, and then you really have to spend time learning it, and then you really need to spend, your energy and then your everything, and then you have to mean it, and then it's not something that you can come like visit this conference and have fun and just talk to people. And if you mean it, you really want to be in this a space that you have to spend, it costs. So that is a very tough point for me back at that time. I feel like so frustrated. I feel like so worthless. Like, why am I even here? Like, I know nothing about this and something like that.
Well, what kept you going? What motivated you to not stop?
I think it's just my personality.
Okay.
I've been down, a couple of times before, I guess, and then it's very back. I was very emotional. At that conference, I remember I called my boyfriend, and then I cried a little bit. I was like, oh, this is so hard for me. I don't know what I'm here. And then and he comforted me. And then like in 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm back in the field. I'm both back in the battle.
Yeah.
So I guess this is who I am.
Yeah.
But also because of that time, I know that it's hard for, not just women, but to
I was gonna
anybody
ask you.
without the tech background that get into this field. And then if you want to do something serious, if you want to really like get into even just the marketing side of it, BD side of it, consulting side of it, you really you have to know a lot of things other than, just have, a lot of people. A friend of mine would say, Monica, you're always on the parties, especially during those big conferences. I went to 10 events. I counted. I went to 10 events on last Friday at Denver.
Okay.
And then 10 events. And then that's how you need to quickly, go to different events and meet different people, and then to identify the real opportunities for you. So that all built on you have a solid knowledge about what's going on there and what you can do, something like that. So it's not just having fun. I've never had I can never relax, and also even though it's getting better for me this year. For this year, I really enjoy some of the conversation I have. Usually, I usually that you have to quickly talk to many people out there, kind of like speed dating and
Yeah.
see
No, it's
what's the
true.
synergy between you guys, right? Something like that. But this year I had the luxury, spend maybe an hour, even more than an hour, talking to a couple engineers. One engineer from IPFS. We had really interesting conversation about what he and his team is built on. I think it's so fascinating. I was so excited about, and then I spent a good hour in an event where the DJs playing music really loud, everybody's drinking, and I was just sat there and talking to him, and so I feel like it can only happens when I do have the sincere interest in the engineering side, from the product management side, product side, and everything. And that's where it got me here today, that I can, better identify what my position is in this area.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I guess I've went through some tough points, and then but it all it was very challenging, but it all contribute to what I become now, 2 years later, 3 years later. Yeah.
What did you do before this?
Oh,
So I have the context.
I did
Yeah,
a
'cause
bunch
you
of
keep
different
saying-
things. Yeah, my major was psychology when I was in
That could work. That could work for adoption when you're talking about new tech.
Yeah,
Very much so.
exactly. And I did a lot of advising to high school kids, college students, mentoring, that kind of thing. I was the mentor for American Needs You, which is the largest organization for the low income first generation college students throughout the whole United States. And then I help a lot of kids, onboarding their first job, first internship, and something like that. Helping people, identifying their skill set, and then their it's always been my passion, I guess. But so I do feel like that also helped a little bit when I, pivot to the Web3 space, that I feel like I can connect with people, like from, yeah, I just feel like I can better connect with people to some,
That's awesome.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah, because you kept saying, but what you did before, and so now and I know, because I didn't know before what you did.
Yeah, I'm just coming to this space with zero experience and knowledge about the technology itself, or, yeah.
Because you mentioned something too when you were telling your story just now. You would go up to people, but the way you said it, you go, "What are you guys building?" The phrase "guys," is it because is there not as many females in it right now? There just isn't, is there?
It's not many female in this industry, and most of them are working on the non-technical side.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was talking to this female developer in Solana Foundation event, and then I found it very interesting talking to her, get the female perspective on the engineering side. But most of the developers I knew still there are.
What was her
guys.
perspective?
Her perspective is like more, I feel like, is less techy, less nerdy, less that we can feel a lot of the synergy between us, especially with me from the non-technical background.
Yeah.
And then I can easily understand what she is working on, what she's gonna work on next, and something like that. It can be, I feel like the connection is already there somehow, as opposed to me talking to but in general, I really enjoy talking to
Understood.
engineering, no matter
Whether
it's
man or woman. No, I get you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's more shared because there's less women.
Exactly.
And because, I mean,
I met into this project called She Summit.
okay.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to bring more female and non-binary to this area through their online courses, or they have different, like cohort every year or every month, and then they're building that community and trying to bring more female and non-binary to this area. I found it very cool, and then I probably gonna connect with them after.
That's
this
awesome.
week. Yeah.
Monica, I'm sure you're probably on this side of the fence too, but just for the both of us, we're not financial advisors, wealth managers, lawyers, brokers, or CPAs. Nothing that we're talking about should be construed as investment advice. We're just sharing our experiences and our perspectives.
Yes.
Would you say that's accurate, Monica?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Absolutely. And then this is also one slang, Web3 slang, DYOR, do your own research.
Yes?
That's where it comes in.